So here is what they never taught you in school. Those ancient Roman gladiators? Most of what we binge in movies, Spartacus breaking chains, roaring crowds demanding blood, thumbs up meaning life or death, is twisted, half-true, or flat-out wrong. Think fewer wild brawls to the death and way more bizarre sports league run like reality TV, with some odd dietary habits tossed in for kicks. And yeah, there's a twist about those fabled lions and the roaring mob too. Ready? Quick jump back to the 1st century Rome. Gladiatorial games are everywhere, but what were these fighters actually like? Were they all doomed slaves? Did they really fight to the death every damn time? And was the crowd always baying for blood? That's the Colosseum-sized myth we're about to crack apart, nail by sweaty nail. So first up, who the hell became a gladiator anyway? Most people picture shackled prisoners, but the truth is spicier. Sure, plenty of fighters were captives or criminals forced into the arena, but quite a few were free men. Some even signed up for cash, fame, or, believe it or not, a shot at glory, kind of like joining a brutal sports league if you squint hard enough. According to ancient historian Suetonius, even Roman nobles sometimes went into the ring for kicks or to curry favor with the crowds. Seriously, imagine a senator putting on leather armor and brawling for social media clout, except replace Instagram with the entire city of Rome watching live. Now, about those fights to the death, you'd think every bout was a last man standing carnage fest, but records and mosaics suggest gladiators usually survive their matches. Why? Gladiators were expensive to train, house, and feed. Losing one every fight would be like burning a Ferrari because you lost a street race. Most battles ended when one fighter was wounded or clearly lost their edge, not sprawled out dead in the sand. Even the famous thumbs up, thumbs down signal that movies love, historians like Anthony Corbeil from the University of Virginia point out that the actual hand gestures used by Roman crowds were way more ambiguous and might not have meant what Hollywood thinks. Sometimes the thumb pointed sideways. Sometimes it waved. Sometimes the crowd just screamed what they wanted. Honestly, trying to decode it feels like reading NFL referee signals after 3 espressos. But okay, were gladiators really all muscle-bound, oiled heroes with perfect gym bodies? Not exactly. Recent bioarchaeological studies, like the teeth and bones they pulled from a gladiator graveyard in Ephesus, show these guys ate a mostly vegetarian diet and maybe even chugged a kind of ancient sports drink dubbed gladiator brew, a mix of vinegar and ash, which sounds absolutely vile. The reason? These fighters wanted to put on a bit of extra fat. More padding meant less chance of a sword scraping bone, more chance of getting up to fight again. No ripped six-packs under the armor, just practical marshmallow for survival. Meanwhile, behind the sand and steel glamour, gladiators formed massive fan followings. Think action figures on sale, tiny wax busts, graffiti with fan clubs' love oaths scratched onto city walls, and even gossip about who was sleeping with which senator's wife. One especially popular gladiator named Salatus had hyperventilating admirers call him the Thracian heartthrob. In graffiti, real Team Edward, Team Jacob energy, but with more blood and swords. Now, lions and wild beasts, everyone pictures them, but here's the thing. Animal hunts, called venationes, were a separate act entirely, often staged in the morning before gladiator duels even started. Gladiators did sometimes fight animals, but usually that was a death sentence given to criminals. Regular gladiators, especially pros, mainly fought each other, using a dizzying variety of weapons and armor in stylized matches. So here's the checkpoint. Not all gladiators were doomed slaves. Matches rarely ended in death, and the city's thirst for violence came with layers of weird celebrity, ritual, and calculated drama. If you love seeing how tiny tweaks topple empires, tap subscribe so you never miss the next domino. Anyway, even outside the sand, a gladiator's life was a double-edged sword. Surviving several matches meant perks, money, fame, even freedom for the lucky ones. And yet, few made it out truly whole. Seneca, the Stoic Roman philosopher who actually watched these matches, described feeling sick watching the carnage, calling it pure murder dressed as sport. That's how grim the spectacle could get, even at its tamest. And whatever Hollywood wants you to think, most ancient Romans craved excitement and spectacle, but not constant massacre. The biggest truth? Gladiators were never just mindless killers or tragic pawns. They were equal parts athlete, performer, and, for a fevered Roman moment or two, the closest thing ancient history had to a viral superstar.